The study of this little book at the feet of the Master is being conducted at the Hyderabad Lodge of Hyderabad, TS Society, Hyderabad Lodge. And we have completed just a little portion of it in the last class study. No, we won't call it a class, but it is a study. So in the episode 1, the main thing was told that the body must be kept in control. We should not succumb to its wishes, that we should treat it like a horse on which we ride, and so look after it carefully. Now we are starting with the second episode, episode 2. First, it was told that God has a plan, and so we must also walk with Him. So the physical body should be kept clean and healthy, because we are walking on a path which is not material, but we are going inward towards our own heart. So the astral next episode is about the astral body. What is the astral body? It has its desires, dozens of them. It wants you to be angry, to say sharp words, to feel jealous, to be greedy for money, to envy other people, their possessions, to yield yourself to depression. All these things it wants, and many more, not because it wishes to harm you, but because it likes violent vibrations and has to charge them certainly, constantly. But you want more of these things, and therefore you must discriminate between your wants and your bodies. So first the physical body, now the desired body. What is the content of this physical body? Or the greed and envy and ambition, angry, all these things. So because not that it wants to wishes to harm anybody, but because it likes violent vibrations. See, anger is a violent vibration. Selfishness is similar and likes to change them constantly. But you want some of these things, and therefore you must discriminate between your wants and your bodies. But you want none of this. We do not want to be angry, neither are we wanting to be selfish or we want to harm others. Nothing. We don't want to do all these things. But therefore, we have to discriminate between your wants and between the astral wanting all these emotions, between your wants and your bodies, your wants. That is why capital your wants, because what do you actually want? The body wants all this. So what do you want? So you must be continuously alert. Then your mental body wants to think itself proudly separate, to think much of itself and little of others. Say, mental body, we go on thinking. So what does it want to do? It thinks too much of oneself and little of others. Even when you have turned it away from worldly things, it will like to calculate for self, to make you think of your progress instead of thinking of doing master's work and helping others. See, the mental body constantly we go on thinking. So what does it want to do? It want to think too much of itself, oneself. And so what should we do to enable you to think yourself, our progress? Even that is not good. To think about our progress is not good. Instead of thinking of the master's work, always think of master's work, not that you are intelligent or not that you are progressing on the way, or be proud that you are doing master's work. So thinking makes you go back in the progress work and of helping them others, master's work. What we should think of is to do master's work and help others, because the master also is helping us, isn't it? When you meditate, it will try to make you think of the many different things with which it wants, instead of the one thing which you want. You here is captain. What do we want? We want to meditate and do God's work. We want to meditate and come nearer to God. But what does the mental body do? It goes on thinking about different things. So you are think that you are not the mind, but it is yours, but it is yours in use. As here again, discrimination is necessary, because the mental body also goes and thinks too many things when you want to meditate. But think that it is the mind which thinks, and it is given to you to use this again. Discrimination, we have to use discrimination again. You will see the which you want. You are not the mind. We are not the physical body. We are not the astral body. We are not also the mental body. It is there for you to use. To here, we should use it like an instrument. Not that you think that you are the mind, you are the astral body, you are the physical body. So the discrimination is to be continued everywhere at every stage. You must watch unceasingly or you will fail. You must go on watching yourself, what you think, what you do, what you feel. Unceasingly means don't stop, continuously, unceasingly, or you will fail. Why do we fail? Because our purpose now is to do God's work, to think about God, to walk into the inward path, spiritual path. So, unceasingly, we must be alert and check the body, check the emotions, and check the mental thoughts also. Between right and wrong, occultism knows no compromise. See, what we want to do right or wrong, occultism, that is spiritual, we can call it. It knows no compromise. That is no in between, half right and half wrong. No compromise. It should be either fully right or fully wrong. So no compromise. Between right and wrong, we should always keep to the right and leave out wrong things. So at whatever apparent cost, that which is right in you must do at whatever apparent cost. That is at whatever cost, at any cost, you should do what is right only. That which is wrong, you must not do, no matter what the ignorant may think or say. You must study deeply the hidden laws of nature, and when you know them, arrange your life according to them, using always reason and common sense. So, as we studied, the entire nature is working according to a perfect law. So, the hidden laws of nature we should know and discriminate between the right or wrong unceasingly. You must discriminate between the important and the unimportant. For as a rock, for firm as a rock, where right and wrong are concerned, yield always to the others in things which do not matter. See, in small things we can yield to others, but when it comes to you, you must always discriminate between the right and wrong unceasingly, not concerning what others think of us. Things which do not matter. For you must be always gentle and kindly, reasonable and accommodating, leaving the others to giving the others or offering others, leaving others to others the same full liberty which you need for yourself. Then in discrimination, we do not matter. You should always be gentle, not be angry, and kindly also, kind to others, reasonable. Don't be unreasonable and get angry when some person does stand in your way, and accommodating. Even if one person disagrees with you, you should be accommodating. That is, he has his own power of thinking. He also thinks in one way, his point of view may be different, but so we should accommodate. Supposing one member says something and another member feels that it is not correct, accommodate yourself, agree, keep, or you can ask, please tell me your point. We can ask, accommodate ourselves and be kind to the other member also, accommodating, leaving the things always that full, the other person, we should give full liberty. We require liberty for ourselves. Only we want to say what we want, not the other person. So we should give liberty to the other person also. And that is how we accommodate. We should not say, hey, you sit down, I know more. Huh? Try to see what is worth doing. And remember that you must not judge by the size of the things. The small thing which is directly useful in the master's work is far better worth than doing a large thing which the world would call good. So in doing master's work, even a small thing, whatever you do, supposing you dust the hall, even that is master's work, because the society belongs to the master, let us say, not the building, but the work which we do, it is master's work we are doing. So any small thing which we do belongs to the master. So let us do it happily. And even if you do sweep the floor, let us say, and let not the others think, "Arey, what will other people say about me? I am sweeping the house. I am not a sweeper," isn't it? So not that way, but any small thing in the master's work is good. Then a large thing which the world would call good. The other world will call good what? Supposing I build a bus shelter and say so and so has built a bus shelter. That is a good thing, of course. And it is a great thing involving money also. But does it mean that you should do only that, even a small thing? uh, in God's work is better than not doing anything at all. You must distinguish not why the useful from the useless. So here also discrimination. What is the, whether what we do should be useful or not useful. But the more useful from the less useful. And there also you have to discriminate. What we do is useful, okay. But what is more useful? What is less useful? Supposing we feed the poor, that is also good. That is more useful in the sense because we satisfy their hunger. They do not have enough to eat. So that is more useful than doing something else also. So everywhere in every action, we should discriminate which is good, which is not good, which is real, which will master like, which he will not like. See, it has come here. To feed the poor as a good and noble and useful work, yet to feed their souls is nobler and more useful than to lead their bodies. Of course, feeding is good, but to feed the soul also, but one should have the same idea, isn't it? We cannot go and tell the hungry man, think of God and do bhajan or do something like that. We want to feed the soul, but will he agree? First, you want to satisfy his hunger, then only he will come and listen, isn't it? So here the discrimination, of course, is somewhat not clear to us, isn't it? You feed the hungry, they eat and go. See the sweepers, we give food always. You have not come, isn't it? For any roadside wayfarer, we invite and give them food. But does it mean that he is very hungry or he does not have money to eat? An auto rickshaw fellow, he earns, just an example, an auto rickshaw fellow, he earns and he eats. But we also feed him. Just because we have taken up one work, feeding, we call it the poor, but they are not poor. Neither can we go into one area where only the poor are living, isn't it? That also is difficult. So we cannot actually describe or think between what is good and what is not bad. But at least I feel that before we do it, we can pray to God and say, oh God, this work I am doing. So let it benefit others. Correct? We can do that, isn't it? So next time if you are here, Madam and her husband, they take a lot of interest in every TS work and they do this feeding also. We have done it. So you can come and eat, of course. Eating is different. Everybody eats. It is not that. But whether it is, for the time being, of course, it is good because probably he may not have had his breakfast or lunch or whatever. But we cannot decide, isn't it? We are not like AB or CWL to determine what the other man feels. So at least we will pray to God first and then give them food. That's what I feel. You may have your own opinion. It's good and noble and useful work. Yet to feed their souls is nobler and most useful than to feed their bodies. What we are doing here, this study, we are trying to feed their souls. At the same time, we are learning. Any rich man can feed the body. మా మాస్టర్ చెప్పింది కూడా ఇట్లాగే ఉంది. Any rich man can feed the body, but only those who know can feed the soul. If you know, it is your duty to help them to know. One who is interested only will come to Theosophy society or even at least try to learn, isn't it? You are young, you are coming, she phones and you come running to learn, isn't it? So, however want you may say already, however wise you may be already on this path, you have much to learn, so much that there must be discrimination. You have to learn on this path. You have much to learn. So much that here also there must be discrimination. And your mind must carefully, you must think carefully what is worth learning. See, we have come to learn and what is worth learning. Just like that, of course, there are many subjects of which we do not understand, we cannot understand. They're so abstract. But anyway, we come here to learn, and you must think carefully what is worth learning and was it not learning. Even in the physical field area also, what we want to learn, we must know, isn't it? What exactly we want to learn, and besides it, we do not want to learn, which is worth learning. All knowledge is useful, and one day you will have all knowledge. But while you have only part, take care, that is the most useful part. God is wisdom as well as love. And the more wisdom you have, the more you can manifest of Him. See, God is love. So while discriminating between knowledge also, what you have to learn You must take care. That is the most useful which you have to learn. So because God is, not only God is love, God is wisdom also, God is knowledge also. We are coming here to learn God's wisdom. So it's still love, and more sure, whom more wisdom you have, the more you can manifest of Him. See, intelligence is different from wisdom. Intelligence should evolve into wisdom. What is wisdom? To know about God, to practice godly ways. That is all wisdom. Because we become wise to know God. Our intention, our goal is to reach God. So this knowledge should be more useful. So we should discriminate between what discrimination and we should discriminate between wisdom and intelligence. So the more you can manifest of Him, the more you become wise, you will do godly work, you will become godly, you have a godly character. See, everything is connected with God. The more you can manifest of Him. Study them, but study first that which will most help you to help others. Study. And we are studying now. What will help others more? అది కూడా ఆలోచించాలి. ఏం హెల్ప్ చేస్తుంది? What will help others? Work persistently at your studies. See, మనం నేర్చుకునే దాంట్లో కూడా persist patiently at your studies. Not that man may think you wise, not even that you may have the happiness of being wise, but because only the wise man can be wisely helpful. అదే మనం చదివేది ఎందుకోసమో, నాట్ అఫ్ కోర్స్ టు బికమ్ వైజ్ చదువుతాము, పేషెంట్లీ మనమే చదువుతున్నాము. బట్ ఎందుకంటే మనం ఏదో గొప్ప అనుకోవడం కాదు చదువుకోవడం. So that we may help others. Not only you have the happiness of becoming wise also. Supposing you help somebody, you are happy also that way. Your heart says, now you have done a good work, you have made a good choice. So the heart will say that. But because only the wise man can help, wisely helpful. However much you wish to help, if you are ignorant, you may do more harm than good. See, you may be wise. If you are ignorant, you may wish to help. I told a joke on the AB birthday. AB has started the organization Boys Scouts and Guides. So one elderly lady was standing on the road. One scout boy thought, a poor lady, she wants to cross the road most probably. And so he came running and took her arm and he was taking her. But the lady was persistently, not actually fighting, but she was wrestling with him. And the second guide thought that one guide is not managed to help her, so let me go and help him. So the second guide came. So both of them took one arm and they made her cross the road and left her there. But the joke here is that the lady did not want to cross the road. See, poor boys, they want to help, but they are not wise. So wise help, think wise before you help also. ఆ కృష్ణ పడి ఇది చెప్పినప్పుడు జోకు అందరూ ఎంత నవ్వినామంటే అలా నవ్వినా. You must distinguish between truth and falsehood. The discrimination, though, so many things are to be understood. So truth and falsehood. You must learn to be true all through, in thought, word and deed. True ఉండటానికి, that is thought, word and deed, ఆ మూడిట్లో కూడా ట్రూగా ఉండాలి. ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ లెట్ us be true to ourselves. ఎట్లా? by thinking our own thoughts, whether we are thinking correctly. What is అది mindfulness అంటారు. So see your mind, what is your thought, whether it is good thought or it is a bad thought. ఆ మైండ్ఫుల్నెస్ వచ్చినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది? మూడు, దాన్ని త్రికరణ శుద్ధి అంటాము. థాట్, వర్డ్ అండ్ డీడ్. మనకు అది 3 ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్స్: థాట్, వర్డ్ అండ్ డీడ్, యాక్షన్. సో ఈ 3 ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్స్ కూడా ప్యూర్గా ఉండాలి, అందులో ట్రూగా ఉండాలి. ఫస్ట్ లెట్ us be true to ourselves first, and constantly also watch unceasingly, like night and day as it comes. So let us be unceasingly watchful in these 3: thought, word and deed. Appremotandi, you will be true to yourself and you will be true to others also. Shakespeare has said somewhere, and something I don't know, he told his son, ఎన్నో కథలు వస్తాయి కదా షేక్స్పియర్లో, దాంట్లో ఒక అతను తన కొడుకు చెప్తాడు, బీ ట్రూ టు యువర్ సెల్ఫ్ అన్సీజింగ్లీ లైక్ నైట్ అండ్ డే, బట్ దెన్ యూ విల్ బి ట్రూ టు అదర్స్ ఆల్సో. కదా, మనతో ఉంటే వాళ్ళకు కూడా ఉంటాం. ఇన్ థాట్ ఫస్ట్, అండ్ దిస్ ఇస్ నాట్ ఈజీ, for there are in the world many untrue thoughts, many foolish superstitions, and no one who is enslaved by them can make progress. Even superstition is not good. What is superstition? What our forefathers have said. For that matter, what they say, we should not reject or whatever it is, go and fight with them. But if it is superstition, at least just to please them, you can do that and feel inside you, this is not correct. This is superstition. But just to please our father, I am doing it. Ala anukunte saripothu, no conflict in the house. And so, no one who is enslaved by them can make progress. So superstition is not good. Therefore, you must not hold a thought just because many other people told it. Not because it has been believed for centuries, not because it is written in some book which men think very sacred. You must think of it, think of the matter for oneself and judge for yourself whether it is reasonable. So, Sarah, ఏదో బుక్లో ఉంది, సో అండ్ సో సెడ్ ఇట్ అని just don't believe it like that. అంటే అందుకనే we need not fight with them and say or write another book saying what you have said is not correct. అలా కాదు, just think for yourself and keep quiet, don't follow it. And there is a saying, when you disagree with a person, we have an argument, let us say. When you disagree with a person, the best thing is to leave that place and go. Not say, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. I'm not. This is not like this. Should be like this. So don't argue. When you disagree, best thing is to leave the place and go. That's what in a Puranas, Lord Bhishma, the great grandfather, did. When the Kauravas, they're always bad, thinking bad about the Pandavas. So when they disagreed, Lord Bhishma left that place and went away. He is the great grandfather of the 2 dynasties. So, ఒక పురాణాలు కూడా చాలా ఉంది. What we must learn is that only we should have a key, and not in this. HPB has said, if we have a key, we will understand what it is. For example, I was telling her also, Gopika Vastrapaharanam, there is that story in Krishna's. He was a boy of 7 or 8, and the ladies of that Vajrabhumi, they were taking bath in a pond. So Lord Krishna was sitting on a tree, So he hid their clothes on the tree. So the ladies wanted to come out, they wanted the clothes. And they were asking Krishna to give back the clothes. But the Lord Krishna said, "You come naked and ask me, I will give you your clothes." What is the meaning of that? When do we become naked? When we get rid of all that minus points in us and we become pure. So we are naked that way. Then Lord will give us whatever we want. That is the meaning of Gopika Vastra Paharma. But people misinterpret it. It is reasonable to remember that though 1,000 men agree upon a subject, if they knew nothing about that subject, their opinion is of no value. He who would walk upon the path must learn to think for himself, for superstition is one of the greatest evils in the world. One of the fetters from which you must utterly free yourself. C.W.L. said in one place, the three things that stop us from proceeding in the spirituality. One of the things is superstition. ఎక్కడో బుక్లో చదివాను. Your thought about others must be true. You cannot think of them what you do not know other. We do not really about any person. Do we know about really any person? We do not know what he thinks, what he is actually. So why should we talk something against them? Do not suppose, for they are always thinking of you. See, in a group, I should not think, "Arey, you are always thinking of me because I am sitting before and reading this book. So you are thinking I am great." No, not that. Greatness lies in what you do. Take the, what should I say, good side of it. But when you do a bad thing also, that is also great. Some people are great in doing bad things. So that is not great, isn't it? The man does not become great like that. If a man does something which you think will harm you, or says something when you think applies to you, at once, or not think అక్కడ print పోయింది, or not to think at once, he meant to injure me. Most probably, he never thought of you at all, for each soul has its own troubles and its thoughts run chiefly around itself. See, each soul has its own troubles. See, soul also evolves. So if I am going to think the other person is thinking of me only always, that is also not correct because he has got many problems. Supposing I come here and sit there, you may think that she is thinking, but I may be thinking about my problems somewhere in the house. So we do not know what the other person thinks. So just don't jump to conclusion. If a man speaks angrily to you, do not think he hates me. He wishes to wound me. Probably someone or something else has made him angry, and because he happens to meet you, he turns his anger upon you. That is the accommodating way, isn't it? Probably he might have had a quarrel in the house with children or wife or something like that. Anything may happen with the servants. So he comes angrily here, and when he sees me there, he may shout at me, not actually shouting, but he may be angry still. But I should not think that he is angry with me. Nadika the Karnam. Something else has made him angry. That is accommodating. Turns his anger upon you. He is acting foolishly, For all anger is foolish, but you must not therefore think untruly of him. To get angry is foolish. First of all, చెప్తున్నారు ఇక్కడ. సో సో ఆయన నా మీద కోప్పడ్డాడు కాబట్టి నేను ఆయనను ఇదే ఒక చేయొద్దు. సో జస్ట్ లెట్ గో జేకే గారు చెప్తారు చూడు, leave it, let go. He is angry with me. Okay, let him be angry with me. Just turn your face and go away. When you become a pupil of the master, you may always try the truth of your thought by laying it beside his. See, that is also CWL kuda cheppedi. We get a thought. We are now trying to follow the good path. So when you think, you put it aside and say, what will master think of me? I have a thought now to come here, let us say. It's a good thought. So even then you think, what will master think of me? What will my heart say? It is good. The heart will say it is good. So master will also agree with you. But you think bad, master will not agree with you. So always put your thought beside your master and check it. See, it is a very difficult thing, isn't it? Because our thoughts are too many for us to calculate or number it. But still, that is why control of the mind is necessary, that mindfulness is necessary. When a thought arises, just think, what is the content of the thought? Whether you are feeling angry, or whether you have love, or whether it is a desire of the body, put it beside the master's thought. Master's thought is perfect. It is full of love. So put it beside the master thought and check it, where it weighs. It weighs down or it becomes equal with the master. Chala kashtam. When you become a pupil of the master, you may always try the truth of your thought by laying it beside his master. For pupil is one with his master, and his thought into the master's, and he has to put back his thought into the master's thought to see at once whether it agrees. Because master pupil is there, the master also takes care of his pupil. So what does that seeker want? What does this seeker want? The master's eyes will be on each of us. So that way we are also should help him in the way, isn't it? Otherwise, his, what should I say, his good work is wasted. Thought to see it, whether it is agrees with the master. If it does not, it is wrong. And he changes it instantly. For the master's thought is perfect because he knows all. Master knows everything. I told you that 360 degrees. The consciousness will be there. He will know whether this seeker knows what this seeker knows, what this seeker wants, like that. So that way, his thought is always perfect. So mana thought kuda alage undali. So that is why when a thought arises, master thought pakkan pettali, whether he likes it or disagrees with it. My master kuda ade cheptaru. And he charges it instantly. If it is wrong, he changes it instantly. For the master's thought is perfect because he knows all. Those who are not yet accepted by him cannot do quite this, but they may greatly help themselves by stopping often to think. Say, the master always accepts people. Only we should be, what should I say, obedient or whatever, do what the master says. So, master accepted by the master cannot do quite this. That is, lay our own thought on line with the masters. But they may greatly help themselves by stopping often to think. When we are not able to think correctly, let us not think first of all. Stop thinking. Kontavaraku. థాట్ని కంట్రోల్ చేయాలి అంతే. What would the master think about this? What would the master say or do under these circumstances? For you must never do or say or think what you cannot imagine the master as doing or saying or thinking. So be in tune with the master. ఎట్లా ఆయన ఏం చెప్తాడో అట్లా మనం ఉండాలి కదా, ఆయన ఏం చేస్తారో మనం ఉండాలి. అందుకే కంపేర్ వాట్ ఎవర్ డూ విత్ ద మాస్టర్ అని. యూ మస్ట్ బి ట్రూ ఇన్ స్పీచ్ టూ. ఇప్పుడు యాక్షన్ థాట్ అట్లా చెప్పాడు, ఇంకా స్పీచ్లో కూడా థాట్, వర్డ్ అండ్ డీడ్ కదా. ఇప్పుడు వర్డ్కి వచ్చినారు. యాక్యురేట్ అండ్ విదౌట్ ఎగ్జాజరేషన్. చూసారా, when you want to speak, let it be accurate and without exaggeration. Never attribute motives to another. అదే, ఒకరికి నిజంగానే కోపం లేదు, ఎందుకో కోపం వచ్చింది, నా మీద కోపంతో వచ్చింది అని ఐఎమ్ అట్రిబ్యూటింగ్ ఎ మోటివ్ టు యూ కదా. అది చేయొద్దు, నిజంగా అది కాదు. ఏది కూడా ఒక కోపం ఒకటేని కాదు, బట్ బికాస్ దట్ ఈస్ ఎ నార్మల్ ఎమోషన్ విచ్ వి గెట్. అయిపోయిందా, అంతనే. యు మస్ట్ స్పీచ్ తర్వాత తీసుకుంటాము. సో పేజ్ 25 టు స్టార్ట్.